If creativity were simply about making things, we would stop at the craft table. But let me tell you, your creative desires were planted inside you for a reason, and they each serve a purpose in your life. Today, we're going to be exploring three main reasons, three main purposes behind those creative stirrings and why they deserve your attention, okay? We're talking about restoration, revelation, and ripple effect, the purposeful fuel you can tap into right now, okay? So number one. Hey, Mama. Welcome to the Creative Mama's Journey, the podcast for mamas who are ready to stop ignoring their creativity and start using it to fuel their joy, purpose, and even income if that's your choice. Now, I'm your host, Christine, your creative specialist, fellow mama, and your no-fluff guide to rediscovering what lights you up. Now, we'll be talking about real life, real struggles, and real strategies to help you silence the doubt, make space for yourself, and turn your creative ideas into reality without the mom guilt. So let's do this. Come on. Okay, so number one, restoration. Now, let's start where most of us need it most, okay? We want to restore our souls, your mind, our minds, our bodies, because we've carried decades, years of expectations, of stress, of demands. And what happens is creativity comes back in and fills us back up, okay? It restores the missing parts. It restores the dented parts. It soothes all those stressed areas. That brings you back into another reason why creativity, bringing that back in, is an excellent source as a stress reliever. Even something as simple as sketching lowers your cortisol. Now, this is chemistry. Because once you're doing something fun, you're doing something that you enjoy, you get a shot of dopamine. Now that counteracts the cortisol. I mean, I'm not really versed in this, but so if I get this wrong, please correct me down there. But the way I understand it is, as we're stressed, our cortisol levels increase. But when we do something fun, something good to reduce stress, we increase our dopamine levels, and that cancels out the cortisol. Now, another reason why we should get back into creativity and how it restores us, it's a form of self-expression, okay? You could be writing, painting, journaling, even, planning. These just aren't creative tasks. These are invitations to feel, because you're expressing yourself in whatever form your creativity takes. We also reclaim our voice because we're getting back into what we used to do, or starting something that we never used to do, but where it's revealing a part of us that was missing. When you create, you speak, even if no one sees it or no one hears it, you're still expressing yourself. You're still reclaiming your voice because you were doing it. What has been on your heart? What has been on your mind? What has been knocking on the door, wanting to come out, and you haven't even started? What interests do you have that you haven't even thought about? Okay, maybe this is a possibility. How can I even start? And you haven't done anything to it. You need to wake up and reclaim your voice. You need to wake up and tap into that form of self-expression, because that's going to be of a great benefit. Now, let me tell you something funny. When So when you start tapping into your creativity, you need to be careful for what you wish for. One evening, I was so tired. I was tired about thinking that I was tired. I was tired about even thinking about getting up and going to bed. So, of course, it was too early because my son was up and he's still at the age where he loves to get tucked in at night. And I'm still treasuring those moments because soon he's going to be turning 13. Well, I'm not saying that at 13, but soon he's going to claim to be too old to be tucked in. And this has been a bonding moment that we've done since he was born, okay? Anyway, I knew that I could ask him to get ready early because then after I tuck him in, he would just have a timer for lights out. But the question became, after I asked him to get ready for bed, should I just keep sitting where I was in this room actually, or should I get ready for bed myself and just go sit on the bed? Well, I mean, until he was ready. And you know what? I dare not lay down on the bed because I knew that as soon as I lay down, I would be asleep. And I knew that it would take a while for him to get ready. And knowing that, I decided, well, you know what? Let me just put on an episode of Gilligan's Island. Yeah, Gilligan's Island. While I map out this idea that had been forming in my head. Okay? So I'm settling down, I'm doing it, and I'm like enjoying listening to Gilligan and all the antics on the island going on, hearing from one ear while the other part of me is mapping out this new concept, this idea that I had. Would you know it? An hour later, when I looked up, I realized that he had not come to tell me that he was ready. And it was like, I can't believe it. I've been sitting here. I was dog tired, but it was like I got a second wind, right? I had to force myself to turn my computer off after I tucked him in, even though I was itching to come back and to continue my project because my body was demanding sleep, but my mind was racing. Now, do you have moments like that? I mean, come on. I want you to start I don't want you to be where you're coming into your creative self and you're ignoring what your body needs. But I want it to be where you're tapping into that creative part of yourself that you're itching to continue doing. You're itching to create. You're itching to do it, to do whatever form your creativity takes. So here are some practical steps that I want you to take for you to wake that part of yourself up. I want you to schedule a creative reset time, a creative reset moment. That's 5 to 10 minutes after a long day, okay? Do it after. And then I want you to refrain your mind to think about, okay, I'm not just tired and I want to sit here and not do anything. I'm not just tired and I just want to binge on social media or binge on TV. Yeah, Gilligan. But I want you to think about, it's not alone time. It's not, oh, me, dear me time. It's not, oh, thinking I'm tired time. But I want you to reframe it as soul time. Okay? And I want you to start with prompts, if that's what it takes. Think of a prompt and say, okay, like it could be, I want to draw a cat today. Or I want to draw one flower today. You don't have to be an artist. It doesn't even have to be drawing. Just think of something simple that you want to, while you're tired, at the end of the day, just sit there and do one tiny thing, even if it is drawing up plans for your project, drawing up plans for your next event, coming up with a recipe, or even, this is a good one, thinking back to what you have in the fridge planning, like, okay, this is what I am going to cook the next day. Just draw it out, write it out. But like, okay, we have tomatoes. Okay, I can do this and that and that. There. I don't have to worry about thinking about what I'm making for dinner the next day. Come on. Just set a time, just a little bit of a time. Okay? And this is going to help you get past that hump of, I want to be creative, but I don't know how I'm going to creative. I want to be creative, but I am so tired that I cannot think about doing something creative. Even if it's at the end of the day when you're tired, and many of us just want to do nothing. Take a short time, 5 to 10 minutes, as I said, and change your mindset by reframing, instead of I'm so tired, to it's soul time. It's not alone time, it's me time. Start with a small prompt or with something short, something simple. And even if you're done and you want to keep on going, you know what? You can keep on going, but don't go at the expense of your body. Don't go at the expense of self-care. Okay? So, now as you're doing this, I want you to ask yourself, what creative act has helped you feel more self-love? Okay? You can write it down. If you want to share, put it in the comments down below. But I want you to think about that. As we come to the second purpose, which is revelation. Second purpose, why I want to into. Now, creativity shows us about ourselves, or reveals more of ourselves to ourselves. Does that make sense? Let me rephrase it. It shows you yourself. Okay? It reveals more of who you are. It's not about creativity. It's not just about the creative part of you, but also about the discovery part. You're going through a creative self-discovery. Okay? And this could be ways in, like, curiosity. Try stuff that makes you feel, that awakens you. So you're tapping into that area of curiosity. You might love to work with yarn, like knit. But what if you got curious about, or I could not, instead of just knitting a blanket, what if I try to do a sweater or a hat? I don't know. I'm a hobby knitist, or however you want to call it. I knit for fun when I feel that I haven't done it. But tap into that element of curiosity when you're starting after. Because as you start to something or plan or tap into that part of yourself, you're going to want to learn. You're going to want to take it even further. You're going to want to enrich it. And all those are all within the curiosity also. Okay? And as you're pursuing curiosity, as you're pursuing self-discovery in your creative time, you're going to find that you're feeling more joy. And that adds to your creativity. How about with your identity and faith in your. Sometimes we remember who we are most when we're doing something that we love. Okay? So it could be, I remember when I used to, I don't know, help me with that idea. When I used to write stories. I was a kid, I would write stories here and there, short stories. It was just for the fun of it. But now I want to get back into writing stories. So you go and you look through, if you have them saved, you look, or you remember what you wrote. And then you're like, I loved writing. I still love the idea of writing. I find myself rewriting scripts of shows that I watch. I find myself continuing on with stories that I read or movies that I watch. And now you're bringing back that part of you that was lost. Now you're bringing back your faith in yourself because you've not only identified what you used to do, but now acknowledging that, oh, I can do it. I used to do it and I can do it. You're now having faith in yourself. Okay? Now I want you to try this. I create a creative map. Write down all the activities that intrigue you, that you would love to do, thought about doing, or I had a slight interest in doing more about it, or something like that. Even if you haven't done them, okay, or even don't know how to do them, you don't even know how to start doing it. And I want you to start keeping track of them. So basically, you're going to be keeping a curiosity log. And I want you to try doing this for 1 week. Even if it means walking through your house and noticing what items, colors feel like to you, or how you would change things. How would you make something better? Let's start simple. Start with your house. Or let's try simpler. Let's make it even easier. The room that you love to hang out in. Just walk around. Evaluate the room. Evaluate what you see, the items that are there, the colors, the layout, and start thinking about how you could improve, how you could enrich it, how you could adjust it. Add that into your curiosity log. Okay? If it's something like, oh, let's say you found something on the wall, you're like, ooh, what if I could do a mural of this thing that will make this room come alive? Put it in your curiosity log. I want to learn to make a mural, or I want to make a mural on such and such. The ocean, a life in the ocean, or I don't know, whatever gets your fancy, but write it out. Okay, so this is more about keeping track of your creative moments that tap into your curiosity. Okay? It's not about the what's or the whys. I want you to focus on when you have a creative story. And so write that down. And then also make notes on if you want to learn more about that creative story. Okay? No. Now, after you've done that, I want you to make note of what this creative adventure, this creating a curiosity log, what that revealed about yourself. And did that surprise you, or was it something that I'd be interested to know what you think on that. And if you want to, just comment down below. Okay? Now we come into purpose, into reason number 3, which is the ripple effect. And this final purpose is what happens when you create and start to have joy, and you're shining, you're sparkling, for lack of a better word, or vibrant. People can see what's going on. Okay? And that's a ripple effect, because you start by being creative, then you move on to you start with finding out what you want to do. Then you move on to actually doing it. And then, because you're doing it, Your attitude has changed. You're less quick-tempered. You're easygoing. You're smiling more. You're laughing more. You're more joyful. Your outlook on life is much better. You're less stressed. You maybe hug your child more times than they're used to. But all that is now evident to all those in your life, to all those that come across you, especially those that know you, like your kids, your spouse, your friends, your family. Now, this will also be where you are being a role model. Because you're showing them that, oh, mommy is being creative. And because she is being creative, she is more joyful. She's more happy, more positive. Okay, so we're showing our kids when we're creative, we're showing our kids that it's okay to play, because come on, if you're creative, I mean, no, we're all creative. So let me rephrase it. If you are using your creativity because it brings you joy, because it makes you happy, because it makes you smile, you're playing. Come on. And because you're playing, your kids are seeing this. You're saying, oh, this play is fun. Mommy's passion and mommy's play, mommy's interests matter. And so that will actually show them that, oh, their interests, their passion, their hobbies, if it's hobbies, those can matter too. If they focus on them and if they work at them, because then there's less time for them to be. Yeah, I just stuck that in. But anyway, it's showing them we can use, that mommies can also use their interest as something that playful, or as something that gives. It's not that the misconception that we have nowadays, that kids have of their parents, especially of their moms, because we're so busy doing other things. We have stress, we have our tempers, we have kids not listening, we have all these other things that our to-do list is a mile long and barely touched any of it. And so our kids are seeing that part of us, and that's all they think parents are or moms are. That, oh, my mom yelled today. Oh, that's normal. My mom yells every day. Or my mom lost her temper and threw this. Oh, that's normal. So what's new? Or my mom was so tired she just laid there. Oh, that's every day. Whose mom doesn't? We want our kids to move away from that. We want our kids to be like, you know what my mom created? I even took a picture of it. I helped her mix the paint. I helped her measure. I helped her in the garden. I helped her create this recipe. I was her taste tester. I mean, you can go on and on and on. Just because we have shifted and started adding that creative part of ourselves into our daily lives. Granted, it may not be long. It may not be for long. It could be like even 5 minutes. But 5 minutes adds up. 5 minutes can be the time that has from you to change from a negative mindset to a positive mindset. Now your kid is going to be proud of you, sharing what you did, wanting to be involved, wanting to even pick up their interests, because you're like, well, if mommy can do all that, I can too. Oh, another ripple effect is building legacy. Because when you create, even if it's small, it leaves fingerprints. It leaves where, this is a case of role modeling. Now your kid wants to do it. And because you're doing it, they want to do it. You're doing it, so on and so forth. Their kids will be doing it. And so you're building a legacy where you're telling your kids that it's okay to be creative. And you get so many benefits of being creative, of having that extra part, not extra, but tapping into that part of your life And it's not about being busy all the time. It's about playing stuff. Whatever happens. The other thing too. Sorry, I got distracted. The other, I lost my train of thought. The other reason, the other ripple effect is community. You're creating a community. When you're doing art, okay. If your thing is painting, you go to the craft store. You're looking around at all these different things that, ooh, there's a new paint, or there's a new tool, or something new that's come up. And so you're going down the aisle. If you're like me, you go down each and every aisle, whether it's something of interest or something that you're working on now or not. I go down every aisle. I'm looking at cool things, and anyway, I digress. But you're in the store, and then you come upon, another person that's buying the same thing, or they're looking at it. So this has happened to me. I've been, I can't remember what aisle I was in, but I was just standing there, and somebody came and asked my opinion on something. So, I mean, I didn't know much about it, but I said what I knew, and so on and so forth. So right there, you're starting a dialogue. Another time I asked somebody, I was looking at clay, polymer clay, and I had a question. And I got to talking to this mother, and she had her daughter with her, 2 daughters actually. And she makes, she works with mugs. She makes figurines that she attaches to mugs. I thought that was pretty cool. And we got to talking, and I found out that, her daughter, who was like, what, 5, between 5 and 7? I think it was more 7. But anyway, her daughter was starting to learn how to do it too. And they were there shopping for polymer clay. That was so cool. So as you start to tap into your creativity, you're going to expose yourself, and you're going to be exposed to people that do similar things or that are also trying to tap into. Because we're going to connect with them in one way or another. And that's how you build a community. So now, let's get into, so now you're thinking, well, Christine, you've told me all this, you've shared all this, you've given me some hope, but how can I apply it? Because, come on, I may not have the time. Well, I may not have the time to do, I don't have the time to journal. So how can I add it into my life? So here's some practical. I want you to share a small creative moment. It could be journaling. Like you could all be like, let's journal, let's write about what we want, our favorite vacation. Or let's journal about, it could be something made up. What if all of a sudden we wake up tomorrow morning, the sun has turned blue? What would we do? I mean, something silly. It could be just something funny, something playful. Something that will get the whole family involved, even though that may not be something that they may like to do, but you're involving them in this creative. It could be even singing. Like, you put on some music, put the volume up, not way loud, but loud enough, and then you start singing, or you start making up your own words. Or it could be playing a game together, right? Another way to do it is you can invite somebody to join you in your process. And this is without requiring perfection. Like you can invite your kids, you can invite a family member, you can invite friends, or you can, if you have an internet community, like an online community, invite them. I mean, we have lives we could tap into. Invite them into your process. Invite them to join in with what you're doing. And it could be like, today let's make a pair of earrings. Let's make the color blue. If you are part of a jewelry making, and you're like, okay, let's do it. Let's do it together. you can do together. Or another way, make this to add this into your act is keeping a ripple tracker. So as you're creative, as you're sharing your creativity, I want you to keep track of those. Even if it's somebody who says, "Ooh, I love that. Did you make that yourself?" I'm going to call that a ripple effect. Okay? Because they're seeing what you did with joy, what you did because you want to do it. Okay? So, leave a comment down below if you want to. Tell me who's been impacted by one of your creatives recently. Okay? Now, this is for those who have already been doing, who has been impacted recently by your creative. Because you never know who's going to inspire. Many times we watch videos or we listen to podcasts and we're comments. You never know what somebody is searching for. You never know what encourages. And they're seeing your comment might be the push that they need to start themselves. Okay? So, here is some, I'm giving you a lot of homework, right? So, here are some reflective prompts I want you to think about. Here's your journaling prompt mode. I want you to think about the 3 purposes that we talked about. Which one of these 3, so restoration, relation, ripple effect, which one did you feel the most this past week? And then I want you to see, so where did this creativity fill me up? What part of my life, what part of inside me, what part of a need that I have, could be took me, or it could be, where did my creativity fill me up? Then I want you to write about what new insights your creativity has. Whether it's you're searching for creative ideas, or you're trying to narrow, or in the midst of being creative, or even trying to tip. I want you to take a moment and write and acknowledge what was revealed. Then, how did this create? Or if you don't know, how about this? How do you affect somebody? How do you want it to? Now, these aren't just purposes. These aren't just reasons. Hey, is it creative? And that change has a ripple effect outside. Whether or not anybody sees it, it's still going to have an outward. Now, Mama, if this way of seeing your tool resonates with you, I want you to go ahead and share somebody else who. Mama, thanks for joining me on another episode of the Creative Mama's Journey. Now, I pray today's episode reminded you that your creativity is not a luxury. It's part of your calling. Now, if this blessed you, pass it on to another mama who needs a reminder that she is more than her to-do list. Make sure to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with me at Chrissy Cris Creations. And Mama, Remember, you were made in the image of a creator. So don't just survive motherhood, create through it. See you next time. Bye for now.